You've got a fire in your belly, a passion to serve, and an insatiable drive to contribute. You know that if you can just get your message in front of the right people, you can change lives. But where to start? There are so many options, so many moving pieces. You get bogged down, overwhelmed, frustrated, while the burning desire to serve others consumes you. I know, I've been there. And these days I bring life-changing impact and value to people's lives through the creation of books, funnels, online courses and coaching programs, and virtual summits. This is the Call to Serve podcast. I'm Tim Cooper, and this is my journey. Have you ever felt stuck? Just like you're spinning your wheels, and no matter how hard you work, no matter how much you try, it just feels that you're getting nowhere. You're just grinding away. And the more effort you put in, the tighter and more exhausted you get, and you're getting nowhere closer to achieving your goal. I know, I have. And I just got off an amazing 2-hour webinar with Myron Golden and his daughter Dee Dee. And oh my goodness, what an incredible 2 hours that was. And they shared a lot of gold nuggets. In fact, they dropped so much gold, it was a gold mine. But one thing I wanted to sort of take away from that call today and share with you is this concept or this construct of be, do, have. And a lot of people miss that first step, and it's going to the do, have. I've got to do this to have that. And there's a problem there, as you may be aware. If you're stuck in the grind, if you feel like you're spinning your wheels, you've got the doing, but you're not getting to the having. Okay. And here's something just for you to sort of think about. Have you ever heard of those people who've won the lottery? Like one day they're flat broke, and then the next day they've just won $40 million. And then you hear in a matter of a few short years, 3 or 4 years, that the fortune that they've won, they've lost. Somehow they've managed to mismanage $40 million and they're back to square one. And you may think to yourself, how on earth can that happen? How can somebody just lose $40 million and not only lose $40 million, but have absolutely nothing to show for it? And it's quite simply that. They didn't have the money management skills. They weren't, their identity wasn't tied with wealth. They hadn't been brought, like they've been struggling all their life. They were basically just making enough money to make ends meet, living week to week. So their money management skills was basically getting enough money that week to pay the rent, pay food, pay for the power and gas and that sort of stuff. Invest? Goodness gracious, they might have been lucky to have $10, $15 left over at the end of the week so they could enjoy a nice takeaway or a beer or something. So they were never in a situation where they had to manage that kind of wealth, to know how to understand investments and that sort of stuff. So this is the importance of being before you can do, before you can have. And really sadly, that scenario just repeats itself over and over again. People have these windfalls and they just squander it. Okay, not because they're being silly, or sometimes they are, but just because they had never gained that skill, they'd never been in that position to look after it. So if you find yourself stuck in the doing, you want to take a step back and look at the being, because the whole construct is be, do, have. Okay, so basically you've got to become the person who can do that activity or that task or that function in order to have the outcome. So your identity must shift. And you often wonder why a lot of coaching programs, even business coaching or all these other coaching programs, a lot of them always start with mindset. Because mindset is the cornerstone. Mindset is the foundation on what you have to build your doing in order to have. And so you've got to change your identity into somebody who is capable of doing what needs to be done and capable of managing the outcome and having what you need. And so you've got to make that change from I can't to I can. You've got to make that change from I'm not to I am. Okay, you've got to become more intentional. You've got to be able to focus your energies and your tasks on the important things and not get distracted, not go off chasing shiny objects. We only got 24 hours in a day. It doesn't matter how rich or poor, race, creed, colour, what country you live in, what time zone. All of us have only got 24 hours a day. So how come some people can build huge businesses and amass great wealth and others still struggle? Because those people up in that top 3% or top 1% are very intentional with their time. They're very intentional with their activities. And that's where you have got to become as well. I'm often told by people, I don't have time. I'd love to do that, but I don't have time. But they've got time to go and have coffee. They've got time to go out here. They've got time to go out there. And look, don't get me wrong. I like downtime too. Downtime is very, very important. It's imperative for your health. You can't work 16 hours a day. Well, you can, but it's not good for you. I've been there, right? It ruined my health. So downtime's important, but enjoy your downtime after you have maximized your work time and make sure that you're productive. Like being busy doesn't necessarily mean you're being productive, right? And sometimes when you actually look at your day, that there's some people actually run what they call a time calendar where they actually log in 15-minute segments throughout the day what they're actually doing. And they do it for about a month and then just go back and absolutely shocked at the amount of time that they're wasting just doing mundane things like checking email every 15 minutes and just doing stuff that really, it feels busy, right? Because you're active, but it's not productive, it's not producing. So you got to, so that's the other thing in the shift in identity is to look at being more intentional with your time. And being nice to yourself. The other thing that Dee Dee said, and it really resonated with me, is affirmations. It's very hard to stand in front of the mirror and say, I'm a millionaire, I'm really wealthy, when there's only $6 in your bank account. And you know that you're lying to yourself. No, I'm not a millionaire. No, I'm not wealthy. In fact, I'm flat broke. So you want to look at the way you talk to yourself, that you're not sort of intentionally lying to yourself, because then that just erodes at your psyche. Like I'm lying to myself. If I can't believe a word I say, who else is going to believe me? And the other thing is just making sure that you don't put that I am in front of anything negative. Like make sure you don't put that I am into I am not good enough, I am too old, I am whatever. Okay, because once again now you're reinforcing, like whatever you put the word I am in front of, you are inviting in, because that's your identity. I am. So if you put your I am in front of something negative, you are inviting a negative persona in, like you're eroding away your value and potential. If you're not there yet, you say, I am becoming. If you want to lose weight, I am becoming lighter every day through good food choices. I am becoming wealthier every day through following through on my commitments. So instead of those out there affirmations, which are just, I've tried affirmations, they don't work. Those sort of affirmations don't. No, the affirmations, I am rich, I am fit, I am healthy. If you're not rich, fit and healthy, then you know you're not. And so what's that just doing? But saying I am becoming is bringing about that shift. And it's a positive shift, and you're inviting in positive change. And then that is going to build your belief in yourself and your confidence in yourself, along with doing other things, of course. And also changing the frame that you look at the world through. I've covered that in other episodes. I talked about the law of polarity, that a positive can't exist without a negative, and a negative can't exist without a positive. Every coin has two sides. So being able to look at something that's happening and recognize the positive and focus on the positive, so that now you develop anticipation for the future and the outcome, and that puts you into power and into action, versus looking at the negative, which then brings about apprehension and anxiety, which kills action and it leaves you powerless. So it's a mindset shift about always looking for the positive and focus on positive, because being positive is empowering. It gives you faith, and it empowers you to take action and move towards the outcome, and you have an anticipation. You expect success, and that I am changing I can't to I can, changing I'm not to I am, and being intentional in your thinking and your actions, and spending your time on the important things, focusing, get the important things done first, right? Like that book, Eat That Frog. Get the important things out of the way first. And then as your day starts to fall apart with interruptions and disruptions and phone calls and everything else, at least you've got that important stuff out of the way. So I hope that helps, because that message really resonated with me. I have heard and read about the be, do, have concept before. I'm not sure where I've heard it before, but nobody laid it out in such clarity as Myron did during that webinar today. And I just felt it was so important, because if you don't concentrate on your identity, on the I am, on the focus, then it doesn't matter what you do, you are going to find it very hard to reach that goal, because you are just going to be churning and grinding, because you don't have that basis behind you to be able to actually function, to do the work that needs to be done to have what you want. Okay, so I hope you found that useful, inspirational, motivational. And if you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button and little bell. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And at some point in about 10 or 15 seconds, a playlist will appear here with all the previous episodes. If you're listening to this on another podcast platform, once again you found value, please follow the show and give a review. If there's a way for you to reach out to me via the platform, please do so. Otherwise, I'm always available at tim@timcooper.au. That's tim@timcooper.au. I'd truly love to hear from you. And until next time, you take care.